LinkedIn has a public switch and you probably never touched it. Yet LinkedIn has a public switch and you probably never touched it. And yet it's determining who can find you this entire time. I have to confess, Darlene.
Uh-oh, confession segment already, and we're just 30 seconds in.
I know, but my confession is this, and that is that in preparing for this session, I went to my settings and I looked at every possible thing I could touch. And there were a whole bunch that I thought, holy moly, that's not how I want LinkedIn to present me. So, what can I tell you? There were settings on my profile that existed that I had to change.
Okay, which ones?
It's too many to name, and I'll be candid with you. But one of the most important ones, of course, is sharing your public information. Do you want your phone number to be blasted all over media? Maybe not. And on the other hand, do you want to be found by search engines? Maybe you do. And that's what we're going to just talk about today. Um, and so, our segment for what LinkedIn doesn't tell you is on settings and privacy. I'm Dr. Nancy Zare. I am I was going to say you call me the LinkedIn lady, right, Darlene?
I do. That's the LinkedIn lady, the psychology LinkedIn lady.
But my real passion is to help you acquire clients confidently without being pushy, aggressive, and salesy. And go ahead and introduce yourself too.
I'm Darlene Petrie, and I'm lead generation strategist. And I spend my days finding the right buyers for my clients, which today's topic is very much about that.
Yes. So in LinkedIn, what LinkedIn doesn't tell you, we're going to look under the hood in what's called settings and privacy, specifically the visibility tab, because there's a whole control panel that most people never knew existed and haven't touched. And we're going to start with the big one, because under settings and privacy, there's a toggle called profile visibility. And this one switch determines whether your profile shows up in searches, Google searches, Bing, and of course, now even more popular, AI searches.
Oh, exactly. And we shouldn't forget about that one, the AI. So here's the
That's
thing.
right.
Most people don't even know it exists. So they've never really made a decision about it. LinkedIn made that decision for them by default.
Right, and this is something that we've talked about constantly, and it's not really a visibility problem, it's a clarity problem. Most people haven't decided who they want finding them, so they can't decide how open this switch should be.
Yeah. And I think too, like if you're building authority and you want to be found by people who search for you before a sales call, that switch needs to be on.
Exactly. But if you're job hunting, and maybe it's quietly because you might have people in your network who you don't want them to be aware that you are looking for a job, well, you need to turn off those LinkedIn walls. Neither answer is wrong, but here's the thing, not deciding that is the wrong answer.
Okay, so say you leave it on. Most people stop there. But there's a second control: edit your public profile. This one is even more overlooked.
Yes, this is the section where you choose what pieces of your profile show up to the public, especially logged out version of your profile. Do you want your headline, your photo, your summary, your experience, your activity? Which of these do you want known publicly? Take note, you can turn each one on or off.
I've seen profiles where someone's whole about section is a wall of insight, completely optimized. It's invisible to the public, though, because the toggle is off. Think of that. All that work hidden.
Yeah, a good analogy is here you are a shopkeeper and you put out this wonderful display area and then you have curtains, to block out the sun and nobody gets to see the beautiful work you've done.
Yikes. That would be very sad. And the fix takes like 90 seconds once you know where to look.
Yeah, I confess in preparing for this program, I took 10 minutes. 10 minutes because I needed to look at every switch and decide on or off, on or off. And it was 10 minutes well spent. And that leads up to our next layer, discovery. LinkedIn lets people find you by your email address or your phone number, and that's a separate piece in a search entirely. Someone could have your old email work address in their contacts and be able to land straight on your profile.
So, this is a real consideration. If you're networking confidently, job searching while employed, or just don't want to be found through channels you didn't choose.
That's right. And connections list visibility uh, is the same in the same family. Some people want their network showing as social proof, and other people are doing confidential business development, so they don't want a competitor scrolling their connections. This is a really important point for those of us who are just happily exposing all our connections to anyone scrolling, because that means your competitors can see who you've built relationships with.
And that's exactly true. And same with contact info. On your profile page itself, if there's a personal email or a number sitting there from 3 jobs ago, that's worth an audit.
Definitely. Old stuff should definitely be deleted. That's a common issue I come across regularly. I click on someone's contact information and, up pops often nothing except the LinkedIn URL address, which leads me to scratch my head and say, how the heck am I going to connect with you? Because I've already got you here on LinkedIn. And what I'm needing is some other means to connect with you. So they have not put a website address, they've not put an email address, and there's usually no phone number. And these are decisions they may not have realized that have been made for them.
Yeah, they're the best kept secret. this this next one is my favorite because almost nobody knows it exists, and it embarrasses people consistently.
Well, what is it? Go ahead.
You share profile updates with your network. If this is on, every time you tweak your headline, add a skill, upload your photo, it can broadcast to your whole network as an update. And so if you're quietly looking for a job and polishing your profile at 11 p.m., your entire network, including your boss, might get this notification. But I also want to add, when we say about updating your photo, actually updating your photo quarterly is actually a good thing because it goes out to everybody, all of your connections. So then that brings you forward to everybody. But you don't want to know, but they don't want to know when you've added a skill, or maybe they do. All the little changes, or if you spot an error in your about section, those are things you just don't want people to know. So be careful. Turn it on when you're updating your photo, but remember to turn it off.
Well, or again, remember to make the decision whether to turn it on or off. I
That's
recently updated my profile. I put in a different picture, which you've just recommended, and I agree with you. I also changed my banner slightly, and along with that, I did change my headline and I've even tweaked my about section. And so, if you guys are curious, I hope my network did get notified, Darlene, because I'm very happy with my new changes.
oh, okay. I'll have to check. And where you're going to find those is under notifications.
That's right. All right, so again, the point is that we're trying to make is that there's a whole bunch of settings about your visibility that you may be unaware of and hence you're not monitoring. So that's how we'd sum up the whole thing. There's really only two coherent strategies, and the mistake is not making a choice.
And it's so important for you to be able to have that opportunity to make the choice, and you want it to be yours. So if you desire privacy first, then you want public visibility off, or limited discovery by email and phone off, connections hidden, activity muted, browsing anonymously when you're searching. That's the lane for confidential job searches, sensitive industries, and competitive intelligence work.
And alternatively, if you want maximum visibility, you need to set your public profile on. And by the way, it's a toggle switch. It's very easy to operate. And so you want all your sections showing so you can be discoverable by email and phone. And keep your activity visible if you want to be found by prospects, by recruiters, even by the press. And by the way, the press is often looking for experts, thought leaders, to comment on something that might be newsworthy. So that's most of the audience when we really add up. If you're building a business on LinkedIn, you generally want to be on this lane of visibility.
That's right. And failure mode is picking neither. Half your settings say hide me, half say find me.
Yeah,
And you end up invisible to the people who actually want and find the ones you don't.
yeah. So what you might be thinking of as a visibility problem is really a clarity issue. It's a matter of making a decision. Who do you want to find you? And then set these switches, and there are many of them, so that you could determine which, if not all, of your profile should be visible.
And this is exactly the kind of thing we walk through live in the LinkedIn Profile Lab.
That's true. We view your actual profile, we get into the actual settings, and we don't leave until every switch is the way you want it, delivering the story you want to tell. And as you know, I did my own audit. It's a good idea to get in the practice of perhaps doing it yearly, unless something in your immediate job and career direction changes.
Oh, the profile lady strikes
Oh,
again.
no, 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 no. It happens to the best of us. That's why we do this in a community and not alone. And don't do the settings menu at midnight when you're groggy and you don't know what's going on. And now your whole network gets alerted to what you're doing. So, a challenge before we close this video. Go to the settings and privacy, click visibility, just look, just see what buttons have been turned on and off. You don't need to change anything yet. Just see what's already been decided for you.
That would be great. And then when you do that, come back and tell us in the comments, what did you find that surprised you? We read every single comment.
Right? And again, the LinkedIn Profile Lab is a good place for you to gain direct experience, help, support around your LinkedIn profile by two experts, Darlene and myself. We will be holding one in September, so look for that information. In the meantime, we're about to sign off and wish you a good week. This is Dr. Nancy Zare. I am the Sales Whisperer and Sales with Soul, how to acquire clients without being pushy, aggressive, and salesy.
And I'm Darlene Petrie, sales. I'm not,
What are you,
that's
Darlene?
you. I don't know who I am today. Okay, I'm Darlene Petrie.
The lead generation strategist.
That's it.
So,
You know why I'm excited, because this is a long weekend, and I've been waiting for a long weekend. So
well,
I do
maybe
want to
in
wish everybody
Canada,
happy Labor Day as well.
and maybe in Canada, but US, it's one more weekend before we get to have a 3-day weekend. So,
Oh.
to your sales success, we'll see.